Well, Forex slapped us in the face with a beautiful 20% raise on something. We're going to talk about that today. Welcome back to the channel where we build financial power. My name is Matt, and this is
Potter.
If you're new around these parts, we talk about this financial power thing, this DeFi, crypto, Web3 thing. We love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. And if you're new, you should slide on by because Fridays we do this together. And Thursdays, big shout out to Potter. She's been riding it solo. I've been off, haven't been able to be here on Thursdays, but she's been doing a bang up job. I was actually watching yesterday's, just sort of looking back and seeing how you're doing. But I think you're doing a great job.
Well, I miss you. You can tell. I talk about you a lot on the show.
Doing a great job. It's cool to see. And so can we get a thumbs up in the chat for her? Because seriously, very, very, very well done. Seriously. But before we dive into the topic, how you feeling over there?
It's a big day. But you know, it never is bigger than us telling you that we are not financial advisors. Like we talked about how we're like cataloging our process, and that is part of it, but I think we're creating a place where people can come back to, or where people can come to take a look at another angle that is not driven on you following us. This is kind of an independent assessment of this whole DeFi thing is what we're doing. Yep. So that's it.
Well, if you didn't know, Forex put an AMA out. Let's see. Which one was this? This wasn't yesterday's. It was last Thursday, right? I think it was last Thursday. Era, yo. It's your boy, Crypto Era the Sweet. It's good to see you, good sir. So Forex did an AMA, and he talked about increasing one of the positions by 20%. And that's specifically, it was BNB that's going to be rewarding you 20% more. And that was with dogs. Now, Potter and I were talking about this beforehand, and I was telling her I was actually considering getting into this, but I realized that for me right now, it's not the best move to make for me. But is this for the dog pound, Potter? Like what?
Yes, and what he's doing, you're right about the BNB. It's kind of hidden though, because what he's saying is people who auto stake, which are the people he's trying to incentivize. Okay. You'll get an extra 20% more BNB to buy the dogs, WBNB, dogs LP. Does that make sense?
The WBNB. What's the W?
So if you go to the Animal Farm and look at dogs, the dog pound.
Got it. Okay, dog pound.
Yeah. All right. And scroll all the way to the bottom. All the way to the bottom. Yeah, right there.
Got it.
So what it'll do is it'll buy you dogs BNB. That's actually dogs WBNB. It's wrapped BNB.
Okay.
But so it'll give you that. So, oh, cool. You have something in there.
I do.
Right? Are my eyes betraying me, or do you have something in there? Or is that all zeros?
Yeah, this is all zeros right here.
Okay. On the left too?
Right here.
Yeah, that's all zeros too?
Yeah.
I can't see it. It's furry for me.
Yeah.
I don't have it that big. Okay. No. So what he's going to do is the people who are just staking, right? If you go up a little, the linear staking.
Okay.
So the people who are linear staking, they were just getting BNB and they could decide to do whatever they wanted with it. But Forex said, you know what? Why should I give them the exact same as the people who are investing in the platform for the long term? Mm-hmm. So what he said is, I'm going to up for people staking. And so I'm going to give them 20% more, but I'm going to take that BNB that I'm not taking away from them, but I'm going to give them more to this other group because I found a better way to fix the algorithm.
Okay.
But I'm still going to use it to increase their position below. I'm not going to give it back to them. But what happens is when you have that BNB at the bottom, it's also buying you pigs at the top. Right. Okay. So while it's sitting there, it's collecting pigs.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It
So that's where the 20% comes from, at least.
Okay. I think it does. Well, and so the 20% increase is for people that are staking linearly.
Auto compounding.
Okay, okay, yeah. So he wants to incentivize people to auto compound. I wonder why that is.
Because we're trying to, with drip, remember we were trying to say, hey, let's get it all down to the smallest amount and the price goes higher. Right? Well, if people are staking dogs, they're out of circulation. Right? So that
Right.
decreases liquidity. It puts them in pairs because that's what you're doing. You're putting it in here.
Okay.
So I think that's one of the reasons why you're seeing the price go up, because people should be buying and selling.
Okay.
Right? I know people say, well, they have that lockout, but a lot of people don't know that lockout. A lot of people didn't know about drip taxes. So they were just selling. But what he's trying to do is say, hey, to help the platform, those who want to help the platform, I'll pay you as if you were doing the stake linear, right? Okay. But I'm going to pay the people more because I can see this is popular, who will stake and keep it there because it's in a sense giving us money anyway. Okay. So what I've done, Matt, and I kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday, is if you go over now to farms.
Okay.
And you see that right there, the top WBNB, dogs WBNB.
Yeah.
What I do is, so I've staked my dogs, right? And it's giving me a healthy amount of that BNB. I'm not like stunning, getting like 1, but I'm getting 0.01, like every day.
That's
now 0.01 might be like, well,
no, that's that.
It's like 50
that's
cents.
Good. That's
like,
really good.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it's 50 cents. Okay. Now, if it just sat there, what it would do, it would be like, okay, based on your 50 cents, I'm going to buy some pigs, right? And I'm going to buy you 0.001 pig, a 0.001 pig, right?
Right.
But what I did was I took I collected it from the bottom of the dog pound and I placed it in here because that's Forex. Right? And maybe he did that as like what's that?
Yeah, right.
I forget that movie. Celestine Prophecy. And what I've noticed, if you can go back up to the drip WBNB, is that I'm getting more pigs here than I'm getting when I've staked in the pig pen 13 pigs.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm like going, well, should I take my max pigs out?
Yeah.
And then, when I can, and then trade those in and then just stake them? I don't know. I can't decide. But for now, I'm just going to keep building it. I think that's the best way. Yeah. But it's for me, it's giving me a good return. Now, if you scroll down a little bit more and you look at the drip BUSD, I kind of thought something else was going on here, but I think I'm wrong. I thought maybe he was getting some way for it to work, but people still don't get this, Matt. You can take your piggy bank or you can take your BUSD, go to the drip liberation and automatically create, this pair, this drip USD pair, without having to go to Pancake Swap and add liquidity or remove liquidity. You just put in your BUSD, it gives you an LP pair and you stake it here. That's buying you dogs. So you're going to get a percentage of dogs. And since the dogs are contracting, it seems, that means the price will go up, right? And that means that whatever you're collecting here will just be the dog's asset. But that's not the important part because the animal farm is about you making passive income. Yep. And what Forex said he wanted to do this time was say, I don't want you to have to sell drip. I don't want you to have to sell dogs. I don't want you to have to sell pigs. I just want to give you some kind of bonus off of that. So I'm going to give it to you in BUSD for people who are management, and for the workers, the dogs, I'll give you BNB because you're not being loyal. You're here to just make money, right? So he wants to cater to both. Does that make sense?
It does, and it's so intriguing how many different plays and options there are. even outside of what we're talking about within this animal farm world ecosystem. And it's so interesting also to, there's quite a few YouTubers that are talking about their strategy and what they heard this person's doing. There's just so many different ways it can be done. So when you were just talking about like, well, speaking as Potter, I'm not sure, if I should do it this way or do it the other way I was doing it. Like there's just so many options, which I think is that's such a great problem for everyone to have,
Yes.
Like the problem is which options do you want to go with?
Right. Because really, I was watching some people and I'm going, yes, oh no.
Right. Exactly. Right?
Because I'm doing stuff that they're not doing. That's the only reason. If they did the numbers and did it, they do it exactly like I am. I'm not a genius. I'm just a person who's putting the numbers together and the numbers are showing X. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so it's I optimize the solution. And as a developer, that's what you do. You just keep optimizing your code, bringing it down so that it does the most in the smallest little segment. Mm-hmm. And so, initially I thought, oh, piggy bank, and I'm like, nope. Now I understand. For me, piggy bank is something that if you say, I want to put some money in and I want it to go to bazillion, but you have to stake it for a long time and then you just slowly take it out. It's not for a stake and take out every day, because the liquidity of the truffle system is much like the garden.
Okay.
So you always have to race. You have to always keep hydrating or you're getting behind in the collection.
Okay.
Right. Okay. And so that's harder to maintain. But if you put in a big amount and you stake that for like a year and the system lasts, the guy who brought me into this, he said, let it ride. He was like, screw it. And he's going to be very well to do.
So I want to jump back to the dog pound, what we were talking about earlier. Let's see. All right. So staking with dogs, linear, and then staking auto compounding. You know me. You know how I am. Like auto compound. Heck yeah. Take it out of my hand. Let's do it. I'm all about that. So Forex is incentivizing people to do the auto compounding, because if they are auto compounding, they are keeping those dogs tied up. And is that auto compounding, because I haven't done it, obviously, do you set it for a certain amount of time to auto compound? Like, all right, it's only going to auto compound for
on days. His set schedule. I think it's once a day or maybe twice a day.
But is it
amount of hours?
That makes sense. But is there like a timeline of like, you're going to auto compound for a total of 30 days and then you have the decision to go back to linear, or you can like,
no, it's what you just said a second ago. You're like, wow, so many options.
Yeah.
Then it becomes your personality, like an operating system, right? Everybody gets the operating system and it starts up, but then the programs you put on it, that's up to you. Right. So this is where you've upped your game, because you can think, what do I want to do? Mm-hmm. And it's up to you.
So it auto compounds it for you, literally clicking the button for you every day, once a day.
But remember, the auto compound is different than in this one. The auto compound says, hey, I'm going to take what you would have made in BNB, I'm going to buy dogs,
right,
and make a pair. So that's different than the normal auto compound. Like if I auto compound and paint swap, it's just giving me more of that token,
right?
Not an LP pair. So this is actually doing a more complex transaction in the back that's buying you a pair versus just kind of like the garden. Yeah. It's just buying you a pair versus just this one token. So the way that we're used to auto compound is that we always see it auto compound the same token.
Right.
This is auto compounding an LP.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. But let's just say, I started doing the auto compounding. There isn't like I have to like avarice, whatever you want to call it. You know how you you staked it, but you have to stake it for a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Is this auto compounding? Do you have to stake it for a certain amount of this auto compounding? Do you have to stake that for a certain amount of time, or is it just,
kind of. I mean, you don't have to, but it's like you'll lose 90%, and then over days, like once you start staking and you do it more than just once, you'll go, oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Like a lot of people, what Forex is saying is, it's going to get down to 10% or 20 or 30, whatever it is. And he says a lot of people are going to sell, and I disagree. I think that anybody who's got stake dogs will leave the dogs and say, I'll sell the extra. Right? Here we go. Buy dogs with BNB, you earn and pairs the BNB with dogs to make picks. Yes. Yes.
Well, and no, you're good. You're good. Well, and I think it goes without saying, maybe I've known this beforehand, but I guess just being around longer, hearing more AMAs, hearing them talk, Forex's macroeconomic understanding is very diverse. It's very wide. I think he understands macroeconomics really well. Certainly much better than I do.
Well, what he did, Matt, remember what he said in some of those AMAs? He said, I'm good, but not that good. So I hired somebody with a degree in this stuff. Yeah. And since it's working, I'm going to say that he's not fibbing, because with Bank Teller, he's the person who's supposed to have that. And it's not working. Yeah. But this is working.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. And I know that, whenever you and I started learning from you and all that, like the concept of taking one token and then create an LP and then receive more than one token for staking, like my head was just like, what the hell is even happening? But now, like, I guess because I've been around it, I've seen it, I've heard it, it makes so much sense. And it's this isn't being done a lot elsewhere from what I ultimately what I'm saying is, and like, I feel like I'm super spoiled because, you got me into drip, you got me into this, you got me into understanding these things. And, we did other plays, and, I got my, like the miners, it was a season of the miners where I learned quite a few things, but I've only truly been in these two this is really the only developer I've dealt with. So I almost feel spoiled because
you have been.
I feel spoiled in that this is the only vision, or this is the only lens that I have, and it's been it really has been a great introduction.
Because you've had it's not just been moon. It's been it's been is this a scam? It's been what the hell is this? It's not like you didn't participate in everything that everybody else went through. It's just that your system or our system, it lasted because everything that I was teaching you was true, right? And the hard thing about other people who were raised with exchanges, which are actually shadow banks, they have to understand a whole different thing, and then they have to learn something completely new with DeFi. You, because you understand DeFi, can understand their stuff like that.
Well, it's
yes,
just,
he is looking more professional, Mitchell.
He is. I fully agree with you. Wait, is it Mitchell? It is Mitchell. Mitchell. I agree. I think he's sounding more and more strong at his AMAs, knowing that he's wanting to do a regular Thursday AMA. He's sounded good. He sounded good. I'm happy for him. And ultimately, I think my lens, I'm super spoiled because this is such a great place to be in DeFi, in this little ecosystem, this community and I'm spoiled because this is the lens that I know. In my head, I'm like, well, isn't everybody doing this type of stuff?
That's what I was thinking.
Like being rewarded multiple tokens for staking something, his idea of not selling the asset. He wants this, he's encouraging the investor to hold on to the asset. And that's what wealthy people do. Yep. Like that is a incredible mindset to have. So
yeah. And he wanted to do that, Matt, with drip. He was saying, hey, it's a certificate of deposit. Just, take out. But then he saw, oh no, people are taking out. Ugh! The certificate of deposit is still there, but they're cashing it out so quick. How can I change that? How can I incentivize that?
Yeah.
And he's done it with the animal farm in the pig pen, the dog pound, the farms, the pools.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really what you want to do with it. And what's starting to happen is I'm seeing it on, the YouTube videos. People are starting to get, they're getting it.
Yep.
We're different because I even have my technical eyes to, get us around some stuff. But everybody's starting to go, huh, and that is going to get people interested. I mean, there's still a bunch of DeFi projects that launch every freaking day. And they're still running off the same Ponzi-nomics. And people go, okay, because there's somebody brand new into it. But all of the information shows that more people are still piling into crypto.
Yep, without a doubt. Mitchell said, even if drip goes to $1, people will become wealthy. That is, Potter said that verbatim before we hopped on. Fully agree.
I was sharing, Mitchell, that I have a Splassive. I have like 200 before it's a full wallet, and Splassive is at 6 cents. It's still like $7,000. It's 6 cents.
Yep.
So, it's like what, 6x right now from what drip is.
For Animal Farm and drip in Q1, what is Potter excited for? That's going to be our wrap up.
The drip launch of Scratchies, and the new UI.
You're excited about those two things, yeah?
Yeah, because then I don't think people believe Forex that he's going to come back. They're like, no, I want to get my money now. It's like, no, he's going to come back. So that when people can again say, oh, I wasn't an idiot. No, but right now you can't convince them, because they see it. They see something they don't think because they don't understand the architecture and what's going on behind. Yep.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, when the sentiment's dark, the vision's dark. So it makes sense. Mitchell, lucky enough, I didn't get into them other Jesus, Matt, spit it out. I didn't get into the projects. Well, there's always a lesson even with the other projects. Like,
I know. I know that it was from those failed projects that I knew that weren't going to be around, that I used them as a teaching mechanism, as well as I was like, before that, I said, oh God, I learned so much from this failure that I passed it on to you guys. And I said, only $1, only $2. Don't do anything here. Let's not go crazy. Because I wanted you to see how systems that aren't real can work versus the one that you have. And it paid off. So yeah, to your point, even the bad ones helped us.
Absolutely. I mean,
Mitchell says, keep up the good work, guys. Thank you.
Your first couple of rugs, it'll make you so grateful for something like drip without a doubt.
Oh my God, guys! If you want to see a video, go back and look at Matt's first rug.
Oh yeah, that was.
Look in his eyes. Those eyes you won't see right there.
That was fun. I appreciate it now, without a doubt. I appreciate it now. And Potter, I appreciate you again holding down Thursdays, doing a hell of a bang up job.
We'll be back.
Yes, indeed. Well, I think that's all I got. Builders, keep building.
Game on.